What's going on, everybody? Josh Pocock here, and in today's video, NVIDIA just dropped Llama 3.1 Nemotron 70b, and apparently this model is beating out Claude Sonnet 3.5 and GPT4-o in many different benchmarks. We're going to dive into it, run some tests, and see what it's made of. Let's dive right in. All right, so here's the NVIDIA tweet. So I put together a little short document that you'll have access to in the link down below in the description. All right, so we have the research paper, which we'll touch on in just a second, which a lot of NVIDIA's improvements was based around. And then we have the Hugging Face chat and the NVIDIA chat. These are the two ways that you can actually use the model. And then if you do want to use this locally, if you have the right specs for your software, then you could either check out the Llama model right here or the Hugging Face model. Now, if we go check out the Hugging Face model right now, we can read some of the description here. So this model reached arena hard of 85.0, an alpaca eval 2LC of 57.6, and GPT4 turbo MT benchmark of 8.98, which are known to be predictive of LM-SIS chatbot arena elo. Now, currently, I don't think we're seeing anything regarding to LM-SIS, and I think we'll have to wait for that. And then as of October 1st, 2024, this model is #1 on 3 automatic alignment benchmarks, verified tab for alpaca 2LC, edging out strong frontier models such as GPT4-o and Claude Sonnet 3.5. This model was trained using RLHF, specifically reinforce Llama 3.1 neutron reward and help sear 2 preference prompts on Llama 3.1 70b instruct model as the initial policy. So it's referencing the research paper right here. So if we go ahead and check this out, you can see that it takes us to this research paper. But if I scroll down a little bit, you can see here we have a case study where we adopt a prompt that many have recently been vibe testing LLMs with. How many R's are in strawberry? Among models in table 5, only reinforce can correctly answer it. So we can see different models here, such as Llama 3.1, 3.1405b and 70b, and then Claude Sonnet 3.5 and GPT4-o. And all of these models got them wrong except for reinforce, where it said a sweet question, let's count the R's in strawberry. And you can see it legitimately counted them out. So 1S, 2T, 3R, 4A, etc. And then it got the correct answer, which is 3 R's in strawberry. So pretty cool stuff. All right, so also within this document, I just included a link to Pony the Liberator's Jailbreak, which he already came out with for this model. So if you do want to test this out, run some jailbreaks, have some fun with it, you can do so, of course. And then some additional resources just surrounding this model. So like I said, the two main places you can use this right now are in NVIDIA chat right here or Hugging Face chat. For the sake of this video, we're going to use Hugging Face chat and we're going to run some tests right now. All right, so we've used these same questions on different models such as Qwen 2.5, DeepSeek 2.5, O1 Mini, O1 Preview, Claude Sonnet 3.5, and many different models. So first question is write a Python function to generate the Fibonacci sequence up to the 10th number. All right, we can see here that it generated the code. All right, and we can see if we run that code, we get the Fibonacci sequence up to the 10th number. So it did pass this test. Next is generate a bash script to create 10 files with the names a1.txt through a10.txt. All right, so we can see here that it generated the code. And if we go ahead and run that bash script, we can see that it created the 10 files right here, A1 to A10, so it did pass. All right, next is a factory produces widgets at a rate that double every 3 days. It produces 100 widgets on day 1. How many widgets will it produce on day 19? Explain your reasoning step by step. And it answered and explained its reasoning, and you can see that it did get the correct answer of 6,400 right here. Next is generate an SVG of a tree. All right, so we can see it generated the code. Let's go ahead and test this out. All right, so it's not perfect, but I will say it does resemble a tree, so we will give this a pass. Next is generate 13 sentences that have 10 words and end in the word monkey. Now, all LLMs on this test have failed. Let's see if with this new reinforcement training strategy, if it can get this right. All right, so it did answer. We got some that do have 10 words, but a lot of them do have 9 words. So maybe it did better than some of the other ones, but it is still a fail. Next is generate me the Pong game using Python. All right, so it generated the code. Let's go ahead and test this. All right, so we ran it and you can see here that it is playing Pong. It's not the best Pong game. It is missing a scoreboard, which some of the other models did generate, but I will still give it a pass. Next question is, a man stands on one side of a river with his dog on the other side. The man calls his dog, who immediately crosses the river without getting wet and without the dog using a bridge or a boat. How did the dog do it? All right, and it got the answer correct. The river was frozen, and it explained its reasoning. Next is, create a landing page using CSS, JS, and HTML. It should be a website for a beauty store and have a header, banner, feature, testimonials, and checkout section. Make it look professional and very modern. All right, so we can see it generated the website right here. We got home, products, about, checkout, unlock your beauty. We got our testimonials, what we offer, and the checkout section right here. So not the greatest looking, but it will still be a pass. All right, next question is, you are in a room that has 3 switches and a closed door. The switches control 3 lights on the other side of the door. Once you open the door, you may never touch the switches again. How can you definitely tell which switch is connected to each light bulb? All right, so it did get this one correct as well. Turn on switch 1 for 5 minutes, then turn it off, and then turn on switch 2, and then open the door. The one that is turned on is switch 2. The one that is turned off is either switch 3 or 1. So you feel the light bulb, and whichever one is hot is switch 1 because it was turned on for 5 minutes, and the one that's cold is switch 3. All right, next is, I left my campsite, hiked 3 miles, then I turned east and hiked 3 miles, then I turned north and hiked 3 miles, at which point I came upon a bear that was eating my food in my tent. What color was the bear? And it's basically said that the answer is the bear is white, because the only place you can hike 3 miles east and then north after hiking south is the North Pole, to be ending up in the same spot that you started with, and that is correct. All right, another question right here, which is pretty much asking, you know, in regards to how many words are in an answer. So the question is, how many words are in your answer here? So whatever answer it says, like if it said 1, that would be correct, because that would be 1 word. All right, so here we asked it, and it tried to sound smart and say a very meta question and deduce everything, but it came up with the answer 33, which is incorrect because it has a lot more words here, so that's wrong. All right, next question is, in a room there are 2 men, one always lies and one always tells the truth. You don't know which is which. You may ask one question to one men to determine which door leads to freedom and which door leads to death. What question do you ask? And it got this one correct, basically saying, if I were to ask the other man which door leads to freedom, what would he say? And the truth teller will tell you which door the liar would not choose, effectively pointing it to the freedom door. And the liar would lie about what the truth teller would say, pointing to the death door instead.
Are you tired of pouring thousands of dollars into appointment setters only to watch leads slip away? Imagine having a team of elite sales agents booking qualified appointments for you around the clock. No more wasted time on training, no more frustration with performance, and no more draining your budget on inconsistent and expensive call centers. Introducing Stride Agents, AI-powered appointment setters that work 24/7, never get tired, and book appointments while you sleep. Trained on thousands of successful conversations, our AI agents outperform human teams at just 1/10 of the cost. Join the ranks of businesses that doubled their appointments and booking rates in just a matter of weeks. Don't get left behind in the AI revolution. Visit strideagents.com now and transform your entire sales process with cutting-edge AI technology. It's time to accelerate your stride with AI agents.
All right, next question. You have a bag with 5 red marbles and 3 blue marbles. You draw 2 marbles without replacement. What's the probability that both marbles are red? All right, so it answered here, and the probability of drawing 2 red marbles without replacement from a bag containing 5 red marbles and 3 blue marbles is 5 out of 14, or approximately 0.357, which is correct. Next question is, you have 3 boxes labeled apples, oranges, and apples and oranges. Each box is labeled incorrectly. You can only open one box and look inside. How can you label the boxes correctly by opening only one box? All right, and it got this one correct, basically saying open the apples and oranges one first, because if it contains apples, then the box labeled apples must contain oranges, and then the box labeled oranges must contain apples, and then if it finds only oranges, then the oranges box must contain apples, and the apples box must contain apples and oranges. Next question is, find the derivative of fx equals x to the power of 3 subtract 3x to the power of 2 plus 2x to the subtract 1. And it broke it all down, and it got the correct answer right here. Fx equals 3x to the power 2 subtract 6x plus 2, which is correct. Next question is, solve the system of equations. 2x plus y equals 5x subtract y equals 1. and it got that correct with x equals 2 and y equals 1. Next is a car travels 100 meters in 5 seconds. What is the average speed in meters per second and kilometers per hour? All right, so I got this one correct. Average speed in meters per second of 20 meters per second and 22 kilometers per hour. Next is the heights of a group of students follows a normal distribution with a mean of 170 centimeters and a standard deviation of 10 centimeters. What percentage of students are taller than 180 centimeters? All right, and it got this correct with an answer of 15.87. Next is write a Python one-liner that creates a list of all numbers from 1 to 100 that are divisible by 7. All right, so I wrote the code right here and I ran it and it did get this one correct as well. All right, next is create a responsive grid layout with HTML and CSS that displays 4 items per row on large screens, 2 items per row on medium screens, and 1 item per row on small screens. All right, so we got the code here, so we can see 4 items on a large screen, okay, 2 on a medium, and then 1 on a small. So it did get this responsiveness test correct. All right, so all in all, it got a lot correct. It pretty much only got the word questions wrong, where it has to count words or whatnot. It pretty much tied with Qwen 2.5, which is another really solid open source model. You know, I definitely think I need to get some harder questions now that these models are getting really, really good. I will definitely do that for next video's tests. But it is kind of crazy to see these new open source models really catching up to these frontier models. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think it's also interesting too, now that we see NVIDIA coming out with very strong open source models. Who knows, maybe in the future or very soon, you know, they could potentially be maybe even a competitor to a lot of these closed source models. I mean, at the end of the day, they are the company that has access to one of the most scarce resources that all the other AI companies want, which are these GPUs and whatnot. And also too, it kind of leads me to think that once we do typically start to see these open source models catching up to the frontier models, you really got to think, okay, well, where are the actual frontier models that are, you know, hidden behind the scenes that aren't released yet? Because that, you know, could mean that, you know, these models are around the corner, and just think about how much more advanced that they are than what we're seeing here today. So maybe we'll see something be released, you know, potentially soon, which will be definitely interesting to see. But other than that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Have you guys tried out this new model? Are you going to test it out? Do you think it's better than all the other open source models like Qwen 2.5, DeepSeek, all the other ones? And how do you think it compares to some of these closed source models? Like I said, I'll leave a link down below to all the resources as well as a document so you can test it out, use it for yourself. If you're new to the channel, guys, we upload videos every single day on AI, automation, business growth, marketing, sales, etc. So if you like that type of content and you got some value here, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Also too, guys, if you haven't already joined our free community, stridecommunity.com, I'll leave a link down below so you can join. And then also too, guys, if you run a business and you need AI appointment setters, calling your leads, booking appointments while you sleep, check out strideagents.com. I'll leave a link down below for that. Other than that, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.